Hello and welcome. It is the completion of the 17th day of April 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel where always all bets, trades, and the like within each his own risk and their own reward. And this drawing of those lines really just representing the symmetricalness that I've been showing within the market of an uptrend. I mean, the rate of ascent, of course, lower. This uptrend line connecting these lows from the 2016, 17, 18 lows. Well, it's long gone. But we still got a trend line here of higher lows and then the lower highs as well. And at some point, it's going to have to break it. But that some point it's going to probably take a while, as it's right in the middle or close to the middle area of where I have these lines. The session today. Okay, let's go to daily chart. Is not much of one. The 17th day had a high of 71.58, a low of 6,995, or about 7,000 even, or differential about 160 basis points. That's barely greater than 2%. Today's session, almost that of 2%, as the differential is almost 100 points. And that's since 8 p.m. This is 3 hours into the session for today. Or 3/24, 1/8 of the daily session. As it goes, it's hanging in there within the 18, sort of rising, but it's been holding within the 18 average of lows. There's been no excitation attempt of the 18 average of highs, but it's still left off from the lows after this several days of supporting in or near that area, because near that area started April the 10th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days plus whatever time on the 7th it spent near or at the 18 average of lows. And now since it left it, it spent the entire time practically near and never above the 18 of highs. The lows coming in at 67.92 area. Current price 7,093. I really don't know what there is for me to say about this. I mean, I've said everything so many times before. I've used the example of in a safe holding currency, precious metals, and private keys of funded cryptocurrencies. I don't know what the chances of cryptocurrency success rate is for a few months to a few years, or how it would work in an inflationary cycle. I think it's going to be an interesting point that the cryptocurrencies might be a choice people take simply because silver and gold is so unobtainable, as it was stated in a Mike Maloney video, and unaffordable as well. And even though people don't realize this, I think they think gold and silver is easy for distribution, but cryptos are pretty easy for me to distribute if need be. And that's not even knowing anybody. I can do this without even via the internet and turn it into pretty much, people talk, oh, you can't buy real food with it. You can't go to a grocery store with it. Well, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. And it's easy to do. But that's another reason why cryptocurrencies, I think, have an advantage over precious metals, to me, is its distribution level. This is sickly low, nice volatility, low volatility in the hourly time frame as this is going on. But for what it's worth, this has been going sideways from this move for quite some time. And this move is Thursday morning. Will it break out and have a big gain? I guess you could say it pretty much had a close attempt here on the 1900 stamp. A couple of aspects I want to talk about as well. One that I haven't talked about in a while, which is withdrawal fees. And I got to look more into it because I haven't even looked at a webpage yet, but somebody who I trust really well stating good information about stablecoins. Anyway, first, fees. I don't like Bitcoin trading. As far as other than the means to the end to use it. When I make trades against the market, it's something against Bitcoin. I hold a little bit of it, not much. But I hold a bit of Bitcoin, and I can use it to buy things with it. And I was checking earlier about 11, and it's how much it costs, like, for the week and the day and the month for withdrawal fees. I mean, off of exchanges, it's been a problem ever since mid to late 2017. And taking funds off of like Binance and Bittrex and all the exchanges. But Bitcoin has been a problem for withdrawal fees the whole time. Again, it's how easy or hard or cheap it is to take it off your funds. If you got Bitcoin on a hardware wallet like your Nano Trezor or anything of that nature, and you look at the fees, they can be so different depending on the day. Usually, when Bitcoin is in extremely very good bull market phases, it's expensive as anything. So therefore, during these peak runs here, Bitcoin was expensive. And it was extremely expensive on this rise higher here. I mean, Bitcoin, it got to like 30, 40 bucks even to send Bitcoin during these high levels. It got insane. And generally speaking, when your bull market breakout phases, the fees that it costs to send Bitcoin generally go higher. Not only because of the price going higher, but the amount of Satoshis you have to send. It's like a double-edged sword almost. And then when you have correctionary moves, it goes down in price. And we've had an ultimate correctionary move since the highs in 2019. And again, from the highs of pre-current event situation, or the early stage, the very, very early stages of it, from China, we'll say. So within it, I looked at it, it was like 11, 12 cents, 11.5 cents or so, for me to send Bitcoin off of the wallet. So, I mean, it's not like I'm going to buy a cup of coffee with it, albeit not that big of a premium or a tax fee on a cup of coffee. There's a lot of things I can withdraw for it and be like, I don't give SHIT about the 11 cents. But on like exchanges, it's 50,000 Satoshi, which at 100,000 would be $7, or this number here. So at 50,000, that's 50% of it. That's like $3.50 to take it off the exchange. So if you're dealing with high numbers, yada yada, pay the piper, you're paying your exchange, their income. That's a big source of income for them, is Bitcoin withdrawal fees. But it's just expensive as anything, and it is what it is. So that's why I like to ratio trade. I'm going to go over one of my interesting ratios in here, and I'm going to do it this way because these are the coins I like to trade. The ratio is going to be that of DGB in at 92 Satoshi with GRS at 2,174. So let's just, it should be on here, right here. Ratio is 23.66. But what an interesting move in here, where we see it go from 23 up to 29.30 back down. Did I take advantage of it? Oh, heck yes, I did. Yeah, I took advantage of it. I'll show it more on the DGB chart. I mean, this is a lot of information about what it's done. I mean, yada yada stuff in here. So, I mean, if you just ignore these prices, it's just moving in this whatever move. But when we look at where these levels are, this is 67 up top, this is 0.6. The 18 average of lows here was 2.7, the 18 average of highs was like 9. I mean, volatility was, not as much anymore, extreme. But when Bittrex is asking me 0.2 DGB to withdraw, that's not much. When you consider, let's go to DGB again. Remember, it's 50,000 Satoshi Bitcoin to take that off the exchange. This is Not where I want to go. This is where I do 93 Satoshi. This is. And some wild moves this coin has had in the past. This is log scale, although it will look so much better. Where's my keyboard? Give me a quick pause. And there we have it. This isn't better than a log scale. This is DGB on the monthly term time frame. So before, and this is 2014. This thing's not that young anymore. This baby is a little old now, as it will be having its 6th birthday, it looks like. Happy birthday in a few months from now. 6th birthday. Anyway. So back then, we're seeing this thing go from 7 Satoshi up to a resistance of 27, but then it broke out to like over like 130, 140. Stabilizing at 50, going down to 20, rising up to 400. I don't know what it stabilized at, but it went down to 27, up to 171, down to 17 and a bit lower. And then in a span of 4 periods, 4 periods, it goes from a low here of 16 to a high here of insane 2,695. That's insane. Insanity, will you? I mean, look at the percentage move here. Up that this month it was up 861% after it had 145% and a 57% up move. And then at one point it was up a bit amount here. Well, it was up to 2,700, closing at 800. So that's like, what, 200% or something more from the where the high was. It's just how it is. And on the daily chart, well, as it goes now, this is just an interesting setup in here. Because I sold here, and then I said, you know what, let's sell it again around here, just a bit more, just for something to do. Around 93 it would have been. I think I sold 93. But then I bought back at 73. So here we are. And now I've already flipped it back again. I did so at 89, I think. So I'll flip some more if we have a nice little high breaking past that 100 number. I'll look for a decent break of what I think this would have on a break of this established resistance. Again, I'll be just trading this against the GRS coin. And we can see in here that somebody wanted to sell this up pretty interesting before. But, I mean, these are some of the volatile moves that we had. Just show you, I can go back and show that high that occurred back in 2017. But when they're asking for 0.2 of a coin worth 93, that means I'm paying like 20 Satoshi or a fraction of a coin. GRS, when they ask me to withdraw GRS, it is just such a lucratively small amount. So it makes it really cheap where I can ratio trade these coins. And then for fees, if say I'm trading like even if I'm trading $300 worth, it's not going to be that expensive. But it's going to be, I don't trade $300 at a time, it's lower when I'm making a ratio chart, especially today with the lower prices. But if you're doing $300, I'm going to be doing 0.25% times 2, which means this would be $1.50 for me if I was to make a $300 trade. But say I got $50 worth of GRS or DGB I want to sell and then do again. Well, that'd be $100 when it's said and done. So that would be a third of that. It would cost me 50 cents to make a trade. And then if I wanted to do a third of that, it would cost me like 13 cents to make a trade. And then I talk about withdrawal fees less than a penny. Well, that just adds a little bit of microscopicity within it. So for me as a trader, important things of note are withdrawal fees. How effectively and easily I can get coins in and out of wallets. If need be, how does the whole holding the private key even work? What happens, like for example, where do I hold my DGB? Well, I know the answer to that. The answer to that is a Trezor hardware wallet. What happens if Trezor goes out of business? What happens if my wallet all of a sudden dysfunctions and doesn't work anymore? then I'm not going to be able to use it. But I got private keys. So I got private keys. I can go to a DGB cold wallet, paper wallet, or a paper wallet kind of deal. Get the keys in, and there are my coins. Yada, yada, yada. So understanding those type of practices, I think, is very, very important. And when I start trading any type of coin that I'm interested in, of course, withdrawal fees off of the exchange is very, very important to me. And if it's not high, then it works. So what I want to do, let's just say a coin like ABC kind of deal. I'll go onto exchange. Usually it won't be Bittrex, it would be on Binance with lower trading fees. And I'll buy a small amount, maybe like $20 worth or whatever. And then I'll take a small fraction of that $20 that I bought. And then I'll withdraw it off of Binance and send it to that wallet. And it can take a while, 20, 30 minutes for Binance to just even send it to the exchange. It's just the way they are. Not a big deal for me as a trader, because if I'm withdrawing coins off that exchange to my wallet, it's probably going to be weeks or a while before I'm ever going to, or days anyway, before I'm going to need them again. Maybe the next day with volatility, but it's available. Doesn't take long. So then I see it on whichever wallet I'm using. Maybe it's a Trezor or Nano, Atomic wallet. Maybe you're using a paper wallet of some sort, which one it is that you're using. Now you take those coins and you want to send them back to the exchange. And what's important for me here is how fast I can do it. I mean, coins like DGB to send to Bittrex, 6 minutes maybe. Ripple, oh, it's fast. That's a minute maybe. Theta, another minute or so. Bitcoin Cash, depends on where you send it to. If you're sending it to Bittrex, it's going to take a few hours. Binance, maybe Bitcoin time. Maybe a bit faster, not much faster, 20 minutes. You need 2 confirmations on Binance, but you need like 10 on Bittrex or something, so that's why it's longer. So how long does it take? That's important to note. That can hurt you, that can help you, because you can see something's breaking out on a coin. And if it takes 20, 30 minutes to send, that rally can go way down. And maybe it goes up higher and it works to your favor, however. But just check to see how long those things take, so you can get familiar within the practices and such. And this way, if something fails the test, it doesn't cost you too much using this type of cheap practice. I'm sending like 40 cents or 50 cents or $1 worth of that coin, $2 to the hardware wallet that I started with. So if something F's up, then I should be able to say it, but whatever. But if it messes up, fudges up, you know what I'm saying there, then who gives a shit about $1 or $2 or whatever. That's how I look at it as. But I mean, I'm really hoping for one of these days where we literally have like, I mean, this thing like breaks out in a pattern like this, and it goes to like 200 Satoshi, 300, 400 Satoshi in like a day or 2 or 3 or 5 or 9. I really would like to see something like that. And then I can unload these coins the way I would like to do so. Now, of course, I'd be a little sickened if DGB did it, in the fact that I got rid of a good percentage of amount of it over the, I mean, not in here, but in 2019. And I stingily couldn't get rid of it completely. I mean, it's because it's on Bittrex, really. It really is. I can't trade it on Binance. But I'm trading it with GRS. And to me, these are the coins I consider like the biggest steroid trade. Mona coin as well. And I'm just curious because it's probably like just bugging me out, the fact that it's probably moving nice and I don't even know it. Why this one isn't on Binance, I don't know. And it's not really moving fantastic right now. In fact, it's got a bearish breakdown signal. Whatever. What you would do is you calculate this fib low to this fib high. We've got a key area here. You probably find the level yada yada here of 14, and that's where it's going to go. So you just let it do its thing. Yada yada yada. I love that yada yada term. Invented, I think, by Seinfeld. I don't know who invented that term originally. Maybe it was Jerry Seinfeld himself or one of the key writers. Maybe it was that George Costanza fella, which is... I've only seen him in one movie that I liked, which was the... he was a side character on... was it Jack Black, or it's the Shallow Hal. That's the only movie I've really ever seen with George Costanza in it. That was an amazing movie. I love Shallow Hal. One of my favorite top 100, top 30, 40 probably movie of all time. And I'm not a big fan of movies of the 21st century. I'm a big fan of the 80s and 90s movies. Anyway. Any type of trading here? I mean, if you have coins on the exchange, are you getting anything out of these moves here? This is what? 185, 176, a differential of like 9. That's like 6%, yada yada, not much. Not worth it. I mean, volatility, that's what I've been wanting to make a video on. It really does suck. This whole volatility, because as it goes, and let's bring Bitcoin up again, because March 11th was the day. That was the day, March 11th. Rudy Gobert testing positive for the current situation. C word. Not going to say that one. Oh, it's BS that I can't say that. It really is. Although there's a section on here on YouTube now that if I happen to say those words, I got to report that I'm saying it. It's kind of interesting. I should read the terms and conditions a little bit. I got to find it for that actual spot. Like, does that SHIT even consider as profanity these days? It almost doesn't. That's what it seems like. Anyway, we're looking back, not that far. We're going back to the, I think it's like the 11th of March. That's the day. This day here. Rudy Gobert testing positive for COVID, which told myself, OMG, I better get my... Because hours before that event, I was planning on making a significant size food order. And, well, that just confirmed the fact I was going to the next day. And I did. Then after that, all of this happened. The market here was phenomenally crazy on March the 12th. Stock market, same thing. But we can see here it lost 40%. It went even down within the... this here happened on the down move here of the low. Happened technically on March the 12th, North America and South America time. Or it happened in the West on that day. So, and then the volatility happened for a little bit after. But this volatility being so terrible has been going on for quite some time. And I hate it. I really do. But, it is what it is. There's nothing else I can do about it, but just, it is what it is. But what was the saving grace for me, it got extremely bad here at the end of October and November. My ratio trading was terrible. And there's just very hard to really pick away at any good moves on the market. Unless you can pick away at small percentage plays, that's all it was. It sucked. But thankfully for me, I was able to start dominating fantasy hockey. And then try to pick away at any other sports that I could find to an edge, although it was very rare to find anything else that had an edge, other than baseball. But baseball wasn't in play during this time. But hockey all the time through it was. Now, baseball became available into February with spring training, and I started playing it roughly around in here. And I was dominating it from day one. Literally from day one. And it's an income for me. Hockey, I can make a very sick return on investment on it. It's stable income, I love it. But it's gone for me now, and it sucks. But for the first few days when it was gone, and here, it wasn't the worst of things because I was busy like a beaver. And that's a Canadian thing, saying busy like a beaver maybe. But yeah, just pair trading all of these different things like Tezos and Theta and Bitcoin Cash and LITECOIN and all those beautiful coins. PivX, all those great things. But not anymore. We're back. This is getting sick again, this extreme low volatility. And we can see it in here within the Bitcoin price, how all this is going on. But I'm used to seeing these percentage moves when I Like 9.9%. I really do need Ripple to break out for me. I really, really need this to break out. Come on, Ripple. Go. Make a big move. Why I say that is because I trade this against like two things. But, I mean, it's at the stage where I can sell a little bit now and complete a trade and get like a 9% move on this and a 12% move on that. But I would really appreciate it if Ripple would just have one of these spots where it gets above the 18-day average and goes to like 28, 29, 31, 3,200 kind of deal. But when you look at the move of these volatility, like even this decent day here, a high of 28.15, a low of 27.18. That's a differential of 3 points short of 100. That's 97. And 27 is 1%. So we're talking about, well, times that by 4, and that's 4%. So 108 is 4%. So 97 is 3 point something. And that's a higher volatile day. What was today's session? Differential, well, we got a low of 52, a high of 95 on the 26 handle. Okay, the differential is 43 basis points. 26.5 is 1%. That was a 1.5% volatile day. That's BS. That's slow. That sucks. It literally sucks. I don't know how many times I've said that in the video. I'm not going to put a counter up, and don't count. I'm not counting. And I've seen the big down moves. This is what's been happening within this bear market, because that's how the good times as it was got to. Like all of these coins against Bitcoin, against the dollar. Here's Ripple going up to 21,000 Satoshi. Today it's been in this downtrend down to 29.58. It's pretty much been at the same prices now since, well, the summer of last year, and really not too far from these lows, albeit still a good move away from the 2018 lows, at least on the Ripple side. So it's not like it's losing or gaining or doing anything against Bitcoin. It's just doing its Bitcoin thing. And it's not as expensive to take Ripple off of Binance, but it's still not the cheapest either. You have to pay pennies, but not under a dime or even under a, well, maybe it might be, I can't remember, maybe it's under a dime. It's not much at all to set it off of the exchange. It's practically free. But technically you always have to hold like 25 Ripple or something like that on your hardware wallet, and you can never, ever, ever, ever get rid of it. So you have to keep like 25 up forever. So if you got like 1 million Ripple on the exchange and you got 999,900 and so many more that you can withdraw. Okay, this is what it is. And for what it's worth, so be it. For me, that's not, I don't give a shit about that. I didn't think I was going to ramble on for so long. Sometimes when I do this, I honestly be like, F it, I'm not going to do it. I'll push stop and say I'm not. But I'm probably going to upload this right now. Yeah, I will. Anything else I want to talk about? H-bar. Tezos has got a nice bullish pattern actually as well. So I'll talk about H-bar, Tezos. What I like about H-bar is these are the moves that I'm looking for. And like back in here, let's just look at this here. So this is what the setup looked like for H-bar at the time. It was getting its ass kicked. Should I say A-double-S? A-double-S. It sounds better. Not really. It takes longer to say. So it's getting its ass kicked here. Down to like 120, 140, whatever, 130. And then you have a little bit of a breakout. Nice little move though, 130 to 240. Then your correctionary play. Must hold area was 150, held much higher than that though. And then, whoa. And that's the type of play. So here we have something going from its correctionary move of high 100s, 180, like 190 even, 193. So barely under 200 to 800. So better than a 4x move. And doing so that quick. This is a daily term. So if it's able to hold that move, that's what's so important. That's what it's done. It's holding it so far. It had a retest of that high of 800. Yeah, pierced extra, but you know what? That's a matching high in my book. And now we've had this support test at key fib level of 347 tested just one time. And it's holding this 477 like a thread, like it is just congesting, like, ooh, this area. It's not moving, it's not doing anything. And when I say it, it just means that I'm not able to trade. Yeah, I got a little bit of frustration, whatever. As far as being, I mean, this should be an excuse for making more videos. And I can tell you right now, the fact is, I mean, I really don't need the quote-unquote fiat currency, which is one of two reasons why I'm not making a lot of videos. I'm not going to say the other reason is I don't want views, but I do want views. I want some, but I don't want many. I don't want to be highly known. I really don't. Like, for example, how many people, I could put out ads like, oh yeah, I'm selling silver and try to sell it, but I don't want people in my community knowing that I have silver. It's probably better that I don't, because, well, I'm going to make a video soon. I mean, talking about, I got to prepare for how I'm going to make it. But the suicide and crime rate's going to go up. Well, now we got the reasons of people going crazy. And this might be me just, I mean, this world sucks right now. But this might be me doing the few week into it. Really, for me, I started this whole and I've been doing this a lot, my whole life even, of just living life by myself, if you will. So I've been kind of used to it as a child. To a degree, of course. But even for that matter, 18, well, not even 18, not really as much 18, no. 23 years old, 24 years old, more so. It's just, I never ever did live on my own until I was, 23 or something? Because when I had my first pad, yeah, I had my own room, but I had roommates here and all that type of stuff. And, yeah, it sucks. And this volatility sucks too. And now I'm like off topic. Yeah, basically, yeah, the whole type of fact of the suicide rates. But I've known about that for quite some time. Because I realized once a loaf of bread is $20, the suicide rate's going to be high. And I know that day is coming. And it's still probably going to be a decent ways away from it. But now we got into this whole current situation and staying in. Yeah, basically March the 4th or something is when I really started to do the whole self-isolating at a higher level that I'm even used to. But I do enjoy normal civilization going in town. And the whole idea of how many times in your everyday life have you, when you've given change back and forth to a retailer, had parts of your fingers on your hand shake? How many handshakes and hugs have you given to people in your life? How many times do you just accidentally rub shoulders, and who gives an SHIT if you do? And that's the type of community that I'm used to, that I grew up to. And then that's gone. That's gone. I mean, it's just the whole way of life is different. And I live on this whole, and I probably did grow up on it, but the whole Austrian school of economic sense of, I believe that as long everyone has free will, as long as you're not doing any involuntary harm or voluntary harm, whatever. Involuntary, yeah. As long as you're not doing harm that some other one doesn't want, it's fine. And business is run in a free business society. There's a big difference between a free market having price moving and price gouging and stuff like that, where that gets to the mechanism of doing harm. Stuff like that. So I've been a big believer of that. I'm also a big believer of my whole life of being a holder of your own money. And that stems back to being a 5-year-old and holding your fiat currency paper rectangles. And I've always been one to want to hold cash. And that's never ever left me. And then, of course, that transitions into holding physical gold and holding physical silver and holding your cryptocurrencies on your own private keys. 35 minutes. I should end the video. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.